was a major difference. In 2015, calls for postponement came from the government.
Correct.
In this instance, it would seem that INEC has taken the unilateral decision to postpone the elections. Yeah. And they haven't shifted it for so long. They've shifted it by 1 week because they claim it was logistics and it was the weather and all sorts of, excuses. But in that instance, you're talking about security. It was shifted for more than a month.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Exactly, 6 weeks. So can we really say that in this instance, there is some undertone, especially from the government, to try and, do anything, maybe on the part of APC or maybe on the part of the government of the day?
There are very serious issues here. We have an incumbent administration, okay, which is a very strong administration and very unrelenting in terms of power pursuit and maintaining their hold on power.
Isn't that all political parties?
I'm developing a story.
Or even your political party.
I'm just telling you, governments differ from governments. Jonathan's government did not exercise the full complements of federal power as it could have. But this government has the capacity to overuse even that federal power. So this government, may not ordinarily want to concede defeat. But it is now, by the time we approach the election, all right, a political miracle has happened. An underdog, Atiku Abubakar, had actually overtaken the king. Do you understand my point? So it was obvious that...
I'm sorry I don't understand your point. Overtaking the king. Yeah. Could you kindly explain that?
Okay. When Atiku came in, even from his primaries, nobody took him very seriously. I was not supporting Atiku, and we didn't give Atiku much chance. We thought he was not in the reckoning, but he won. So when he won also, the administration was happy. They said, Atiku is a thief, we can easily destroy him on corruption and all that. But he became a beetle that could not be killed. All right, so, and, in the last 3-4 weeks, okay, before the election, he had energized and initiated an unstoppable momentum. If an election was held on Saturday, it would have been a total routing of the incumbent. So, naturally, the incumbent may be jittery and may want a situation whereby, let us have a breather and then replan.
You've seen the APC say that they would have won based on all the credible polls. I mean, those are their words. All the credible polls that were conducted, and that they don't know why the elections were postponed. They think that INEC is working with your party.
The masters of propaganda in this country are APC people and their antecedents. I don't want to waste too much time on this television, but that's what they are. But,
not opposition
there's a limit to propaganda. APC's propaganda has collapsed. The period which Atiku Abubakar overran the APC in the Northwest. Let me tell you, the stars of this election, whenever we hold it, will be people from the Northwest. Because I'm telling you that Atiku Abubakar, as of today, if an election is done today, will defeat the incumbent, in fact, clearly, in 5 out of 6 zones, including the Northwest.
Well, all of these are permutations. If I ask the other party now, they will say they would win, landslide. As a matter of fact.
You know what we used to say in Lagos? You know what we used to say in Lagos?
What do you used to say in Lagos?
We say, Bawa laju yin lo, beyin laju wa lo, ipade dojo ibo. That is, whether there's no need for us to argue. Saturday is not a long time. We will meet at the square and we will hear the results.
We'll see how that eventually pans out. But are you going to be campaigning? INEC says there is now a ban on PVC collection.
I watch that.
And campaigns as well.
The INEC chairman is a human being.
Yes.
And he must have been under tremendous stress. Going through that interview, through that stakeholders interactive session, it was a tremendous pressure on him. So when that question came, I think he just answered it in a flip-flop manner, which is, he was grateful that, all this is over. Because technically, the continuation of election or otherwise is not, they said they're holding a meeting at 10 o'clock. That's a superfluous thing. It is not a matter of their meeting or their intention or their interest or understanding. It's a matter of law. The law says, 24 hours before an election, campaign must stop. So if you shift the date of an election, okay, the law kicks in immediately. So there's no, they will come out at 10 o'clock and say we can campaign. So I don't, it's not an issue. It's an issue of law. That's very, very, very clear. It's an issue of law.
How do you tell people, I'm just wondering, how do you tell people that who have fears, who are still not, the undecided voters, let's talk about them. That
most of them, because of this postponement, have now decided for PDP. Many of them.
How do you know that?
So,
are you in their mind?
They're calling us that, oh, you know, before we didn't know what to do, but now with this thing these people have done, we are, you know, you have our votes. People are calling us every day.
This is even after watching the INEC, because a lot of people said after we watched the INEC chairman talk to us, it would seem that, you know, we're quite convinced.
Did you hear what Atiku Abubakar said?
Convinced.
He said this hand is hand of Esau and the voice is voice of Jacob.
We seem quite convinced that INEC really had to shift its elections. They think that this is not something that INEC is happy to do, but had to do to ensure that, you know, the polls are free and fair. Because they say if we had to conduct polls in 90% of the country,
that would have been a disaster. That would have been a surreptitious manner or way of bringing the Osun scenario into a national, national scene, which will be totally unacceptable. That is, you work, you know, when you hold elections in 30 states, you know, and you know you are losing by 2 million. You have 6 states to finish the election. You know, you just work out how to get the 2 million in 6 states and, you know, declare yourself as winner.
You have talked
that's unacceptable.
As a closing remark, now, you've talked about politicians not being very truthful people, and sometimes you talk about
now, this is a politician. I said people in government.
Government being bad business.
Bad business.
Being bad business. You have a case of EFCC against you. How are you handling that? Public perception as well, being in a campaign as well.
You know, it is so sad. You know, it is so sad, you know, because that was a case that was, I was brought in by EFCC some 2.5 years ago, okay? And it was investigated for almost 9 months. And they themselves told me that they have nothing against me, but that, you know, if there's any other issue, they will call me, okay? Now, because this campaign started and because of my positions, you know, which I cannot help but to speak what I believe, and which I am entitled to constitutionally, you know, people decided that, okay, fine, one of the best ways to keep this man quiet, let's just go and dig up that case. What is my case? The case is that, the NSA was the one that was funding me, funding my office on a monthly basis. That cannot be an offense. And that is, was
that the situation, though?
Yes, I have 59 count charges. Yemi, okay, or whatever his name, the NIH person who is involved with $40 million matter has only 5 counts. Me, I have, for taking money to pay salaries and run my office, I have 59 charges, 59.
Well, we'll see how that eventually plays out.
But what I want to make clear here is that the charge sheet of the EFCC, because I've read some newspapers and I just don't want trouble. There's nowhere they have accused me of fraud. There's no fraud. There's no anything. What they said is that I received money from the NSA to pay salaries and all that. When I should have known that the NSA got the money was giving me through fraudulent means. I'm not a witch. The second one was the issue of money laundering.
Saturday is coming, and we'll see whether, your party
That's my son.
is more. We'll see how it goes. Dr. Okupe, thank you for coming on Sunrise Daily. He is the media advisor to the Director General of the PDP Presidential Campaign Organization. The program continues in a moment. Please stay with us.